All right, we are live. Welcome to Oklahoma Office Hours. This is where you can spend a little bit of time in Oklahoma before you actually try to move here. And I'm Marcy. I'm an Oklahoma realtor. So I am based out of the Oklahoma City area. And I've been here my entire life in Oklahoma. And each week we have honest conversations about what it's really like to live here in Oklahoma. And it's from our own perspectives. So we'll talk about the neighborhoods, home buying process. We talk about tornadoes, of course, hidden downsides, hidden costs, and things that people wished they knew before they moved here. So today I've got a guest that's joining me to hang out with me and help us dive into today's topic and answer all of your questions because we definitely want to answer your questions. So I'm not here to sell you Oklahoma. I want you to understand it well enough to decide if it's going to fit your life. So let's talk about it. All right. Here's Sarah.
Hi, everybody.
Our guest for today. So every other time I have this episode, I have a guest, and guests are really fun because then we can chat with each other and I don't have to talk to myself the whole time. So I appreciate it.
Am I supposed to say something now?
Yeah. You can say whatever you want, Sarah.
I gotta warm up.
So one of the big reasons I asked Sarah to come on the show was because she has a niche, and it is new builds, and she's a builder, which I love.
Yeah. Fledgling
And
builder, but yeah, thank you.
Say what?
I said
You're
fledgling, but yeah.
I feel like that's the best kind though, because you're so open to learning and like you've learned a lot, right? How many years have you been in real estate now?
A little more than 3 now, I think.
A little more than 3? Okay, perfect.
Although I worked for a home builder for quite a while, so I suppose
that's true.
That counts in marketing. So
yeah, but you kind of got like the gist of things. You saw a lot while you were working for. Do you want to say who you worked for?
I worked with Home Creation, so one of the largest builders in the state of Oklahoma.
Yes, the largest builder, I believe. Lennar can suck it.
Girl.
That's the kind of stuff we say on this show. Okay. Yes, Lennar. All right. So let's talk about what you have learned. Like, whenever I gave you the list of topics, what's the first thing that popped in your mind? You were like, oh, dang, I have to talk about that. Or like, oh, no, I shouldn't actually talk about that.
Well, that's the thing. I'm kind of like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, am I going to make myself sound like insane? Because sometimes I do. But I think things that like kind of stuck out to me were the ones that people do tend to wonder, which is like, what upgrades are actually worth it? Where is it worth it putting my money into this? And just from a practical perspective, because those are the questions that matter. And people sometimes are quite surprised about what I actually believe about that.
Okay, well, let's hear it because I'm very interested to know because I haven't heard you talk about this.
Okay, well, I think it's an interesting one because obviously we know when appraisers come out and appraise a home, we're sometimes surprised at what value they do or don't give to a lot of the investments in a home, such as higher quality materials, or things like storm shelters or shops or even land.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's really simple aesthetic things that actually have the appraisers kind of bump up the quality.
Really?
What's it called? Of them? Yes.
Like what kinds of things like bump up the quality in an appraiser's eyes?
It's little details, like sometimes the stuff that the trim carpenter can do that's very cost effective to add, but then it makes the home look custom.
Like what?
Like those forward beams or a mantle or a tile fireplace wall, or bringing the tile to the ceilings in the bathrooms.
People love that.
Behind mirrors. And it makes the home look custom, and they can sometimes just completely change the
that makes sense though, because like I see it in my buyer's eyes too.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It's just those little things that make the home look different than all the other spec homes, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Was that the only thing that you thought about?
Well, why inspections still matter. I mean, as a builder and someone that works with builders, we love when people get inspections. We want the home to be,
Okay.
um, well, as close to pristine as you can get on a new home. I mean, it's a man-made product, a human-made product, so obviously
Right.
there are going to be imperfections, but there are things. There's so many people and moving parts that when you build, that there are going to be things that might get overlooked. Like,
Yes.
I've actually seen, and I think it might have been you that said this or someone else, but the sewer lines are collapsed on brand new construction.
Yeah.
And quite often it's because something really simple, like if a sprinkler system's getting put in and they cut
Mm-hmm.
the line, or during final grade, it gets crushed for one reason or another. um,
Someone
yeah,
just, yeah. Okay.
accidents happen. And then sometimes people, you know, most of the time everyone's really honest about what happens, but sometimes people just don't notice, unfortunately.
Yeah. They don't. Especially, I mean, if you've ever watched people, are you wearing a bracelet?
Oh, it's my watch. Should I take it off?
It's your watch? Yeah, I'm just hearing like a little bit of it. Just wanted
I'm
to let you
taking
know.
it off.
Okay.
There we go.
um if you watch, well, first of all, the way some of the workers, like I live in a new neighborhood and so it just got finished I think 8 or 9 months ago, but they even drive fast. Like so so whenever I'd watch them work, I was like, man, you guys are like hoofing it. So like it makes sense that a few mistakes
Right.
might be made during that process. Mistakes that I've seen, trash down the shower drain
Yes. Yeah,
all the time.
unfortunately, that can.
So much trash.
You like to put some cardboard over that tub or that drain.
Yeah, exactly. Like not closing up electrical lines in the attic. That's a good
Mhm.
one. They like to do that. Not fully connecting the dishwasher.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't sound
that's a
great.
fun one. No, it's very messy to not
Oh,
have a fully connected dishwasher when you run it.
on my first home I bought, unfortunately, um, there was some debris in the
Yeah.
HVAC intake and
Yeah.
burnt out the unit, brand new
Oh,
unit. So that was,
I haven't seen that mistake before.
it did get remedied.
Good. Someone fixed that for you.
Yeah, but people, the house, we want the house to be good, don't we?
Yeah, we want the house to be
Yeah.
good. We want because what happens if you're not happy, like as a new home builder and your house has a big problem?
Oh, well, I mean, fortunately, I think everyone wants to work everything out. So usually these things
Yes.
get worked out. But bad reviews
Bad reviews
can
suck.
hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're buying a home or working for someone like Home Creations, they're kind of inevitable
Mhm.
because there's a lot of homes. Like, how many homes was Home Creations building whenever you were working for them?
It's about 550 a year.
Yeah. And I think it's close to double that now. That's what I have seen. And so when you're building 1,000 homes a year and selling 1,000 homes a year, there's probably going to be some bad reviews in there. But as someone who's building a custom home, one bad review
Yeah, one bad review can be yeah,
can be pretty
very
bad.
unhappy situation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we talked. All right, so you talked about what the appraiser sees with upgrades, but what about like what you think makes the difference in the long term with upgrades in a brand new build?
Long term, I mean, I always think flooring, countertops, and obviously like your cabinets, making classic choices and quality choices on the things that are very hard to replace.
Okay.
costly to replace. I like for instance, upgrading the tile floor throughout. That's going to last you 30 years longer.
The
You
floor.
can
Yeah.
steam mop it, and then
Okay.
granite, quartz countertops, anything nice. But other than that, it's kind of a choice that you have to make based on how long you think you're going to be on the home.
Yeah. Because it's not easy to sell a home that you bought brand new, right?
No,
Yeah.
and you see that unfortunately more often than you'd hope to.
Yes.
Especially in a new build neighborhood like yours where homes are still being are they done there yet, or are they still
Yeah,
doing the
we're
last
done.
fix?
Thank goodness. Now we
Yeah.
have birds. Yay. We have birds.
Yay. Yeah, that's
It's
how
wonderful.
you've made it.
Yes.
um, but as long as homes are still being built in the neighborhood, you really want to think
Hey.
about how long you're going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, so people ask me that all the time, like, because I sell a lot of brand new homes and I sell a lot of them to people who are moving in from out of state. And we'll go through neighborhoods and like, they'll be like, oh, well, this home is 2 years old and this home is brand new. Like, what's the difference? And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, this person had to move for some reason. They're moving. I don't know why. Does it matter? Not really. Um, because clearly a lot of people like living here because a lot of people live here, right? But then this person, for some reason, because of their job or because of their family or whatever, has to get out of this house. And I do see that people who sometimes, the people who buy brand new homes, they like to trade homes a lot.
Yes.
Kind of like cars.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yes. Like, I've never had a car newer than 5 years old. So
yeah. No, me neither.
It's not something I know about personally, but
Right.
yeah, it's you get into something and then you kind of think, oh, wait, it's not exactly. I didn't realize it was going to be like this
Yeah.
living in this space or this area.
Mm-hmm.
Quite often it's maybe the location isn't quite right,
Sure.
or the way they move through the home isn't.
Right. There can be a lot of things that are difficult. I think what's difficult for us as realtors, because like I've had, oh man, in the past year, I've had to sell quite a few homes that are, not old. They're new. And for some of them, I have to tell them, like, you're not taking home any money.
Yeah, you might be losing a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm. If you're looking at it like an investment, then you need to think about the time on the investment that you're willing to spend. So not to turn anyone off from that, but like we want to be real with you. And like Oklahoma doesn't have a 12% year over year appreciation rate. It just doesn't. So we're looking at 4%, 6% maybe. But for a new build, sometimes it goes a little bit backwards in those first couple of years.
Yes, because you are competing against other
Yes.
homes in the same neighborhood that are new, and the incentives that the builders can offer.
Yep. And that doesn't mean that that's because like if you stay in your home, then it will compound over time, but you got to give it a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 3, 5.
2, 3, 5. We like
The more
5.
the better. Yeah, 5.
More the better, but 5 is like minimum.
Right. But I mean, that's not to say that you can't sell and do well, because quite often, if you lived in the home for 2 years, you've done some nice work. The landscaping is much nicer. You've done something to the garden.
Yeah. And that means a lot to people because that's a lot of work that they don't have to necessarily do. And it does, but at the same time, like competing with builders and what they can give on, an interest rate is hard. So, yeah. So you said that you're a fledgling builder. What do you mean by that?
Well, I've built one home and sold it last summer.
I know, it was awesome. It was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It was an awesome experience.
Yes.
learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I've been working with home creations for years and in the marketing department. And you really come to know the process. You are on the job site. You are learning from the superintendent so that you can market what the homes are made of, all of the features. And
Mm-hmm.
my dad's also a builder, so I did grow up in construction,
Mm-hmm.
on job sites in that way. But to actually be there, managing it and making sure everything's coming together, but also in my own way because everyone works differently.
Yeah.
um, it's
Yeah.
just a really exciting process. So
Yeah. What was something that really surprised you through the process? Because I mean, you're the builder, and I've seen people say like, "Oh, I'm going to build my own house, like GC my own house," and I'm like,
right.
"Wow."
I so something that surprised me through the process. I think a lot of the decision making, there are so many decisions that you make throughout the way, and
Mm-hmm.
decision fatigue is real.
Yes.
Um, Also, there are, as things come together, you pour the concrete and you're like, oh, this is massive. Is it too big? And then the frame goes up and you're like, why is everything so small?
Yes.
And then
I
you
hate
get
showing houses at frame. Oh my God.
it's horrible. It is horrible.
It's horrible.
And some really awesome advice I got from my dad, by the way, if you
Mm-hmm.
ever are building your own home, is
Yeah.
take pictures of everything while it's in frame because you're going to lose those sockets. The
Oh.
sheetrock guys are going to miss some. And when the electrician tries to get everything working, he's going to be like, was there a socket here? We can't find it.
I guess not.
So it was excellent advice. It did come in super handy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But other than that, it's like, the flooring goes in and you're like, oh, I don't know about that color. What was I thinking? And then the
Yeah.
paint, and you're like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
it's really putrid. And then
Right, because it hasn't come together yet in your mind.
and then you get your countertops, you get your lights, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I'm a genius.
Yes, you are a genius. We all need to tell ourselves that every single day.
Because the whole time
Every
you're thinking,
single
I've
day.
messed everything up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, those could be costly mistakes. But I guess trust the process.
Trust the process.
Trust
I
the way
think
everything worked.
I definitely did that. Like I did what's called a custom build with Ideal Homes, and that it's not a custom technically, like not in the sense of like I picked out everything like from the plan and like where all the rooms go. Like, no, you pick from a set of plans and then you go through this process called the design process, and you pick out like the paint colors and the floors and blah, blah, blah. And there's like things that are included already. And then there's upgrades that you can make to the house. So that's the process I went through. I have been through a custom process, and it was my parents. And why was I having to clean up after these contractors?
Oh, well, do you know, that's the good thing about inheriting a lot of contractors from my dad. They are wonderful. My
Yeah.
electricians team were sweeping up everything. I was like,
Sweeping up
this is
everything
just
after them.
amazing.
Yeah, they will work in absolute filth and then leave it in your house. That's what I noticed. But I was 11. And like it's all I remember.
It's a learning. I remember when my dad was starting and my so we would help out a lot. My mom and me and my brother would go and we'd do construction cleans.
Yeah.
And it was filthy. I mean,
It's disgusting.
the bathrooms would be used inappropriately.
Yes.
So fortunately, these are things you learn, and when you're working with everyone repeatedly, it becomes a much tidier process. But when it is a learning experience, I think it is definitely a learning experience.
Yeah, I think so. So I have like I've noticed, so some people have to build from out of state, but some people, like when they're here, they will go by their house every single day. Even if they're not the GC, the general contractor, which I think is really funny. But I also get it because like you're trusting these people who don't know you. to build a house that you're going to live in and possibly have to spend thousands of dollars on. So, yeah. So if you were looking at, because you show a lot of new builds besides the ones that you actually have
Yeah, I
listed.
do. So
Yeah.
that's the fun thing about selling new construction is people are looking for new
Mhm.
construction. So when you pick up a buyer, that's what you get to look at.
Yes. So what are some red flags that you have seen in these
Well,
houses?
it's interesting because I think you had asked me about some builders in the past. And one thing I've noticed though is if you go by their job sites, if they're tidy, that's a great sign.
Yes, it
A
is a good
tidy
sign.
job site is a builder that's keeping an eye on things, and
Mm-hmm.
your yard's not going to be full of bricks and nails when you're digging up your
Nails.
garden,
Mm-hmm.
PVC pipe. Um,
Yeah.
but moreover, I mean, if they're keeping it tidy like that, they're probably keeping everything tidy like that.
Yeah. That's kind of what I see too with flips, right?
Mhm.
Like, if the grout lines look bad, then I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, this is terrible. Like I don't want you to buy this. Because that means like the whole thing. They're just not paying attention.
Yes, or if the plumbing looks a bit funky under the kitchen sink, and maybe the
Ooh,
plumbing
yeah.
possibly wasn't done by a plumber, that could
Okay.
be a concern.
Huh, I
So,
hadn't thought about like because we do look under there, but like I'm not a
mhm.
plumber, but you can tell whenever it's all if it's not straight or like there's extra things.
Right, there's not a trap under there. I mean, like,
Yes,
yeah. So there are
that's
things
true.
to keep a lookout for. And
Yeah.
one time, I mean, it was a new construction, and we were touring it, and the I think it was like the HVAC unit in the
Mhm.
attic, the condensate line was run
Mm.
down through the waste line for the washing machine.
Oh,
So
you would never
I,
know.
well, the only reason we knew is because it was discharging like a lot of liquid while we were in the laundry room. But I just wonder what would happen if your washing machine was also discharging a bunch of liquid
Right.
at the same time,
Right.
because those aren't big pipes.
Yeah, because the condensate line, I mean, most of the time I'm seeing them run through the garage
Hmm.
ceiling
Yeah.
because then like it's on your car or on your stuff that's in the garage. So you see the,
And that's on purpose, though. That's so
yeah,
you know if there's a problem.
yeah, of course. That's what we want. So if it's run
Yeah.
through the wash machine line, you have two sets unless you just never do laundry,
Mm.
which
I
that would
mean,
be nice.
that would be nice.
That'd be really nice.
In cities, they have those services that just pick them up and drop them off.
You know, I'm hoping that one day we will have that here. And I think it's coming.
Those drones, those Amazon drones, they can do other things.
Amazon drones can totally pick up my
Mm.
laundry.
They could
I
probably
mean,
wash it
that's not weird,
really
I
well.
guess.
No, those little robots can fold it.
Oh, yes.
No
They
more
should do
wrinkles.
that.
I am leaving
Right.
things in the dryer for hours.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So if they're not tidy, what about like in building a custom? Like, because that's a long, to me, and this is what I tell people whenever they're starting to build a custom with a builder. I'm like, you're in like a marriage relationship with this human.
Right. Yes.
So you should think about it like that. Like if they don't answer the phone now, they're probably not going to answer the phone later.
Yes. And that is a thing. And like sometimes a lot can be done by a text. So I'm not gonna
Yes.
but however, the one thing that I think communication style is really important. You're gonna want
Mm,
someone that you can communicate with, that you can feel heard with. Um Now sometimes I think there are expectations perhaps from a buyer that might not be achievable in the build process. So
sure.
that might feel like confrontation. So I don't want to say like if there is, a back and forth that it's necessarily bad because
Right.
we do know what will work in a build and
Right.
everything.
So like if a builder is disagreeing with you on something that you want to do, you're saying that like maybe have a listen.
yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's about the way they disagree. That's what I mean. You don't want
Yeah.
someone that's necessarily dismissive or
Mhm.
there can sometimes be tension.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's one good thing to figure out early is if you can communicate well together, if it's a
Yes.
mutually respectful relationship.
Yes.
Um,
Well, it's just like in my relationships with my buyers and sellers, like I love when they ask me like, what are your working hours? Like when is it best to talk? Like, and I ask them the same questions, and these are like very simple expectations.
right. What way is the best way to
Yeah.
communicate? What do
Yeah.
you like? What feels
Yeah.
right? How
Exactly.
often?
Like every 5 minutes is probably not okay. So don't do that. Make
That's
a
a little
list.
much.
And when your list hits 3 items, then you can call me. That's what I want to tell people sometimes.
And it's even better in an email, so I don't miss
Oh,
anything.
email. Yes, text messages are very hard because you will absolutely lose all of the. In fact, I'm remembering an email that Handsome or a text message that Handsome gave me that I did not act on today.
We will make a note of it.
We will make a note and we will get that sign removed from that
Anyone
house.
watching, just remind us at the end of the show.
Yes, we need that reminder so that my sign doesn't get lost somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
some one time I drove out to get them and they'd been transported for me after I
Oh.
drove to Mustang.
Oh
So
no.
that was really thoughtful. They were
So
transported
thoughtful.
for me to save me a drive
But
that
then you
I
drove to Mustang
made.
anyway. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. When you're looking at like new build neighborhoods, so how big is the neighborhood that you're building in Sienna?
Yeah, Sienna Springs over in
Yeah,
East
Sienna
Norman.
Springs right now. I have shown some homes in there recently. Big sigh. Big sigh on my part. So, how many homes are in that neighborhood total? Do you know?
I do not. I should know this, but I do
That's
not.
okay. How many homes are in the section that's going on?
I want to say like maybe there's 80 or 90 lots. Just
Okay, 80 or 90. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for Oklahoma, because I think sometimes people come from other states, and I've had this where they're like, well, I want this, this, and this in a house, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Let's look at those 5 houses that I have available for you that have this, this, and this, and they're like, well, these none of these are exactly what I wanted, and I'm like, well, it's not Target.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's there our neighborhoods tend to be a little bit smaller than some other places because yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have bigger lots than a lot of places quite often.
Yes. But sometimes not big enough apparently.
Right. Yes. Right. Yeah. It's the thing about Norman in particular as well is we're running out of places to build.
Yes, we are running out of places to build. Explaining that to people is really fun. And the cost of land is very high.
It's very high.
Very high.
It's very high.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
why.
significant jump between the lots that builders are buying right now and what a consumer can buy or a
Yes.
custom builder.
Yes. Yeah. And I've had that experience even in the past week with Oklahoma City, which is much less expensive than Norman. Like much less expensive.
But I mean, and Oklahoma City is interesting as well because you can get infill lots now.
Mm.
And those are another interesting kind of thing.
Say some more.
So an infill lot, for those watching, is a lot in an established neighborhood. It might not have been built on. It might have previously had a home on it that has since been torn down or had natural, like a fire or
Burn
something
down. Yeah.
horrible, unfortunately happened to it. The trouble, I mean, the wonderful thing about infill lots is sometimes you can get a really affordable lot in an established neighborhood with lots of trees. The neighborhood's already settled in. The trouble with an infill lot is the comping. So
Yes.
when you go to sell, the prices are based on an area that's already established. House prices have not necessarily been comparable with new construction. Appraisers can sometimes have a hard time justifying a
They do have a hard
premium
time.
new construction price. Yeah.
Yeah, because the cost of the materials is a lot more. I looked at an infill house in Sutton Place.
Yeah.
It was so nice. Like, I mean, there's trees, there's a forest, like the whole thing. And I know looking at it, I'm like, I'm gonna show you what everything else is worth around it, and you're not gonna like what you see because it's gonna be very different.
Yes. And sometimes you'll get an appraiser that, I mean, is more open-minded to the reality of the situation, and they will work hard to go a bit further out to find other homes built on infill lots and compare those prices proportionally to there's a lot of math.
Right. Yeah, there's some math. Mm-hmm.
And then in the city, when you're closer to downtown, there are some massive, very expensive infill
I can't even
houses.
imagine comping those houses.
Right. But often, the people buying those might not need the home.
They don't care. Yeah, that's true.
But I guess what you find with infill, a lot of the times it is investors buying those, or people building one of their first few houses themselves to rent out.
Right.
So there are unique reasons to go there.
Yeah. We definitely don't have very many here in Norman. Like, I feel like there were a few more after COVID. But I feel like it's always Abdi that has them. And I love him. He's great. And I'm just like, yeah, I know it's hard to sell, sir, but you chose this. They're great houses. It's always fun. But it is hard to comp them out for sure. So, okay. Well, good. We talked about communication problems. Talk to me a little bit about timelines and how it works for a builder. Like, how do you know when to order stuff? What would like someone who's building a custom home expect on like draws for their construction loan? Like, yeah.
So the build process is pretty straightforward. You've got your 4 or 5 phases. I mean, and once specific things have happened and specific inspections have happened, then you get to move on to the next phase. So it's relatively straightforward that these little dominoes fall and then you go to the next. That's not a great metaphor because I don't want you to think about things falling.
No, don't fall.
No, but
no falling.
No falling. There's no falling involved. But with regards to the draws, a lot of lenders do it differently.
Okay.
So, and unfortunately, my experience on this, I've only done the one, so I can't talk on it too much. But I think typically there's a set number of draws. Most lenders
that you get
do something like 7 or 5. Don't quote me on this.
I mean, I'm sure it's different
and like it is a percentage of the loan amount based on where you are in the build process. And my lender would come out and just walk the house to make sure it's been done, take his little pictures, and then he'd say, "Okay, we can move forward." So that's how that works for me.
I think that's pretty. The pretty basic part of it, like. So here's what happens to me you're a realtor too, but like this is what happens to me. Like people come in and they're like, I want to build a custom. And I'm like, cool. So we're going to find your builder first, number 1. And then you're going to sign a contract with them and you're going to work with their lender and they're going to tell you what you're going to do. And there's just all these steps leading up to it. Right. And then they stop and they just buy a house that's already built.
Yes. It can be very daunting. People, I think the getting the loan before there's a home is a really stressful thing to a lot of people.
Absolutely. It'd be stressful to me sometimes too, if I didn't,
So I understand that completely. you get excited about the idea, and then reality kind of hits, especially when you see something that's very similar to what you have been
Right.
picturing
And it's like,
there in
oh,
front
I
of
don't
you.
have to go through this process like what you're describing earlier with like, well, I'm questioning this paint color. I'm questioning this. Like, so I painted, you can see that like I have white behind me. So this is my house. And I had to choose a color of white.
Right.
And I fixated on this, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to choose the wrong white.
I don't even know what light bulbs I'm going to have up there.
I know.
Come
It was
on.
so bad. I was like, I am insane. But it was months of this. And if I wanted to change it, I had to pay like $200 just to change my mind, which I get why they do that. Because then I would just be changing all the time. And
Yeah,
that
and
would
then the
be
poor
really bad.
superintendent's just gotta start losing his mind while you're losing your mind.
Yeah. I mean, they don't want to talk to you because they want to do their job. So yeah, that's the process. So like, unless you want a build on a specific spot, that is a big reason to do a custom. A lot of times, like, I present my buyers with like, yeah, you can do a custom and these are the builders that I would suggest for you. Or you can do a custom with a production builder. And it might be more fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are thinking about when they think about a custom anyway. It's very few people that are thinking, I want the solid core mahogany doors with
Yes.
the old world brass hinges.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh, can you imagine?
I've heard some things, but um, but most people want to choose the tile in their bathroom sit round and the color of their faucets, and that's easy. That can be done.
It's easy. Yeah, it's easy. Agreed. Yeah, there's no reason to add stress to your life that you really don't need, I guess.
Right.
It's
I
kind
mean,
of the thought.
you can even, you can look through all their floor plans. You can feel like
you can go in all of their floor plans.
Yes.
And
some
just
of the builders will let you move walls or this, that, and the other. I mean, so there are things that can still be done that are quite fun.
Yeah. No, totally. I think that that's a good thing to look at. And like you were saying, the decision fatigue, I call it the Netflix phenomenon.
Yes.
That's how I describe it to people. Like, you are looking through the movies on Netflix and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to watch. So then you watch Mean Girls.
I was going to say Vampire Diaries again.
Vampire Diaries, yeah. So that is decision fatigue. You're just seeing too much. So often it's all about narrowing down the location and seeing what can happen within the location that you're wanting. Some builders won't build in Norman.
Oh,
I've heard this from people.
Okay.
Because
of some of the fees?
The what? The what?
Fees?
The fees. Are there lots of fees?
I mean, there are fees. I think so. Every area has a different kind of inspection process and different particularness. I had a really good experience. I built in Norman.
Good.
So I wasn't turned off by it.
Good.
And I've seen some of the inspections come back. So, for instance, in Mustangs, sometimes those have a lot of little bitty details, like which is great. Why wouldn't you want the house to be thoroughly inspected?
Sure.
So,
right.
But some of the things seemed very, very tiny and minor on those inspection returns. So I do think the areas that you're in probably have very different focuses. So maybe that's it, but I wouldn't know. I mean, the builders that I've worked with all have built in Norman.
Right, all built in Norman. Yeah. Of
course, land cost is another thing, isn't it?
Land costs, yeah. I've definitely heard some stories about inspectors, and I think I've seen it too in commercial in Norman in general. But I think because we love Norman, right? Because we live here. And I think
grew
if
up
you're
here.
right, I became an adult here. So I think if you're not in love with Norman, sometimes it can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's the trouble. I've got the rose-colored.
Yeah, we're like, we wouldn't live anywhere else but here because this is the best that
It's the
you can
best.
get
It is.
in
It's
Oklahoma.
absolutely the best.
The best. We
It's
cannot go anywhere else.
I'm not going
This
anywhere else.
is all we got. Yeah.
I have earmarked a lot in Sienna Springs for myself, and there have been 2 or 3 inquiries on it. And my dad's like, "You could sell it for a profit." I'm like, I am never getting this land back. There
Yeah.
is so little land here. That is
So
mine.
little. Yeah. That's right.
Um,
You know what? It's funny. Like, it's all about perspective too on the land, isn't it? Like, because, so I'll get people from Texas, especially from Dallas, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cheap. Like, I can get 10 acres for $180,000. And I'm like, yeah, but that's super pricey. They're like, no, it's so cheap. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, then let's do it.
whatever you want.
And then old timers being people that are older are like, what do you mean it's not $200 an acre? Like, well,
Oh,
that's
so
adorable.
sweet.
I had I have these clients, they live in South Norman or in Noble technically. And
Holla.
yeah. They they had this land, like this family land, and they were like, yeah, our uncle, great uncle, whatever, bought it at the state fair
Oh, wonderful.
in like 1960 for like $12.
It's so lovely.
And I was
Not
like,
jealous.
what? And it was in Moore, and Moore's got a weird problem too with land, right? Because Oklahoma City just swallowed it right up. So I thought that was really funny, but Oklahoma definitely gained some traction between 1960 and today.
Right. I mean, I've forgotten this stat, but a lot of people are moving here.
Yeah, we went from the 27th largest city in the US before COVID to now the 20th. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
There's lots of traffic now.
Lots of really good new restaurants.
Oh,
Thank you for moving here.
Yes, we needed those because it was a struggle for a long time. And we have, I mean, everyone, like, we have that basketball thing.
Oh yeah, I watch sport.
I have to sometimes.
I mean, I will go if I'm invited. So I have a friend who's really into sports, so she invites me to OU football every once in a while, or the softball, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
Sometimes people, invite you to the Thunder, but I have reached the phase in life where I feel fully confident just telling people, I'm so sorry, but I do not have any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be talking about teams, and I'm like, I think you're talking about football, but it could be hockey. I don't know.
Running back, linebacker.
Yeah. But the basketballs, that is very popular. And I mean, I can watch basketball, but it's just not my first choice.
It's yeah, the cool thing about basketball is it's also like I don't know how to say this. It's a cult of personality, isn't it? There's like,
yes,
it's fun. They're little icons.
Well, and some of the fans are like famous. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you watch all the people down on the
this San Antonio ones I was watching, whenever that was, 2 nights ago. They were like, oh, this guy does this and this guy does this, and I was like, they're just fans, but okay, whatever. But the point of our conversation here is that
there was a point. What's the point?
There is a point, and I talked about it a lot because like, and in my family, this is kind of how it works. Like, I know you've been here since your family's been here since the late 70s.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my dad was born in Edmond and lived like around Oklahoma City, and didn't like it at all. So he moved to Tulsa because Oklahoma City was like just a dead lifeless, gross place.
The only reason you go to the city is to go to Crossroads.
Oh, don't go to Crossroads.
No, you don't go there anymore.
No. That's scary. Someone told me it was on Gangland.
Yeah, I don't. There's a school there now.
Yes, there is a school there.
High school. I don't know anything. Is the Orange Julius? There's a myth in my head about the Orange Julius still existing inside of it, but I don't think that's real.
I don't know. If you guys don't know what we're talking about with Crossroads Mall, maybe Google Crossroads Mall and Gangland.
But it was the fancy mall.
It was the fancy.
It was the fancy mall. I mean,
yeah. Yep. But yeah, Norman was always kind of nice-ish because of the university, but Oklahoma City was not. And so once Oklahoma City kind of took off and everything, then it brings everyone's prices and livability up significantly. And then we have the new arena going in Norman. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to affect people and homes.
It's because super contentious, but
it's kind of funny to watch. Yeah. But yeah,
I'm a wait and see kind of person because
you don't have any money tied up in it. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. Well, yeah, yeah, but it could be interesting.
I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be helpful for the city, for Norman. Lloyd Noble, which is where everything is now, is kind of just a pit of despair. But I also feel that way, like our Hobby Lobby, and so our Hobby Lobby, moved, and now there's this big giant commercial lot of land that I'm like, I really want them to tear this down and build a park.
Oh, that would be really nice.
It would be so nice.
Yeah. What else are they going to put there?
Probably a gas station, I'm sure.
Maybe like it could be a charter school.
Yeah, charter school, most likely. And then the Homelands, of course, by Target.
Oh, I really liked Homelands. I'm really sad about that.
Yes. But I'm just wondering, like, with the arena, like, because obviously they're not going to build residential homes there. It's not going to happen because you can't. They may be senior living. That might be nice to a certain extent, but I'm really interested in seeing how this plays out for the housing market.
It's interesting because I've been, every time I drive down Southwest 24th, I'm like, this is going to slowly get bought up. And I mean, it's too central and everything's getting very tired there.
Yes.
So, I mean, if I had some investment capabilities, maybe that's what I'd be thinking about. But no, but it's the same road, isn't it? It's 24th and Main down to Highway 9.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen there because that's a quarter strip, I-35 from 9 up into town. So maybe someone's already buying it all up. I don't know.
Maybe. They do have to move pretty slowly in those types of instances. I really hope. I hate when they put parking lots in the front.
But they've removed the parking requirements, haven't they?
They did remove the parking requirements. And then they're having, are you having fun with the backup parking?
I am terrible at this. And in front of Gray Owl, those are not the correct shape.
Yeah, they are kind of weird.
And they're a funny shape.
So what we're talking about is if you've ever seen reverse parking in a city. So like Tulsa has a bunch of this. And they redid it like a few years ago. And it was tough at first. But now Norman has all this reverse parking.
People get really angry about it as well.
They are.
You trying to park? You're getting honked at.
You're getting honked at. They pull up right behind you and expect you to, I don't know, run into them.
Just give up. You're not parking.
No, you're not parking. And then you have, I pulled up to Gray Owl. Gray Owl is like our favorite coffee shop here in Norman. And I pulled up to Gray Owl and everyone who was parked backwards diagonally was at like a weird angle.
That was me. But the spots aren't the right shape, Marcy. And they're way too wide. They're so big.
They're huge.
Why?
But gray going two ways is very important.
So that we don't run into each other, like it's important we know it, or is it a good thing?
So it's because of the stats say, because I have done the research on this, the stats say that the businesses will be more busy because of it. So
well, that'll be good.
That's great. We like that.
You're a smart researcher.
Thank you. But I do some of those lots down there, like in the floodplain where they're where they're trying to build the homeless shelter. That I'm watching so closely. I'm so interested in what's going to happen to these homes that were all built in like 1955. Because, you can tell that they were put up really quickly in 1955. And I'm just like, first of all, can we find a better way to build in a floodplain than just like throwing up our hands and building the exact same way as we always have? Because it just seems like technology is just too good for us to just do things the same exact way all the time.
They've gotten a lot more stringent about like water flow and retention. I mean, you've seen the first phase of Sienna Springs versus the second, for instance, and those drainage. But I don't know what they're going to do there. I mean, because it's in the floodplain, and
it's in the floodplain.
They're going to bring in a lot of dirt. I mean, retaining walls, and
I mean, I've seen homes on stilts.
Yeah,
I think it's wonderful, but that's just.
Well, I mean, they could.
Yeah. So along those lines, and this is something that I've brought up to people. I like to do it because I think it's funny, but it's also like a good question. So we are building homes in essentially the same way that we have for like 150 years, which is mind-boggling because like everything else is different, right? Like cars and everything. So like, is there any new technology or new building processes that you see that you would want to try?
Well, that's interesting. So you see a lot of people doing the ICF homes now, the insulated concrete.
Yes.
I can't say that I want to do it, but I like that there's something novel happening.
Okay.
I am a cautious person and a tried and tested person. So, I mean, I lived in England where our home there was built in 1886, so it was brick walls, a lot of them plaster walls with the lime plaster, lime mortar, and the brick. So very traditional building materials. Houses that can breathe. And so what we built here in Oklahoma, very similar. These are breathable houses. Those ICF houses, that's not a breathable house.
Right.
What's the one thing we know about concrete? It's hard and it cracks. That's two things. I don't like mold.
No, I don't think any of us hopefully
don't like mold. I got really bad allergies. So my paranoia there, this paranoia is my own personal opinion. Please don't come at me because I know ICF homes are much more energy efficient in theory. But that concrete cracks, that water gets down into that styrofoam form. It gets into your walls. I mean, I'm just not sure I'm about that life. I think
Right.
The homes we build with the OSB and the weather membrane and the brick, they got the air gaps. That water gets in there. It's just going to drip down. It's going to come out. It feels, I trust it. And
of course.
I'm going to wait and see, which is what I said earlier about something else. But I think there's a lot of interesting stuff happening, and there's small changes. You see a lot of these builders, if you follow, so the build show on Instagram or whatever, there's some really interesting stuff happening where they just use slightly different. Instead of the weather membrane, you see people using a paint-on waterproofing. Which is interesting. Or different kinds of insulation. Rock wool is very cool.
What is it?
Rock wool, it's like so instead of the fiberglass that most of us use as fiberglass bats, or instead of the foam, which I'm skeptical on as well.
Yes, we all are skeptical of the foam. spraying
love
foam.
microplastics and off-gassing and water mold. I just don't want it.
Yep.
But rock wool it's like a mineral. It's made out of spun rock mineral instead of glass. So it's got higher insulation factor. It's
Okay.
cool. And it's it's a cool thing. It's expensive.
Yeah. I'm sure. Anything new is pricey. Interesting. For a while there, I was kind of a berm specialist.
Oh.
Yes. not on purpose. I know.
That's a fun one.
So I had this really great couple and they had this bermed house. It didn't have a berm is like whenever the house is built into the ground. And apparently they were quite popular in the 70s, especially during like 1974 whenever we had the oil crisis. There's a bunch of them out in like Choctaw, McLeod, etc. Like not all in one neighborhood. They're just random places. So this was one of those houses, and there's some in Norman too.
Now, can I ask you something? Oh, sorry, a berm house, is that what people in the other parts of the country might just consider a home with like a walkout basement? So part of it's underground or on the grass, or is it different?
No, because it's like one side of it is
yeah. So like the one side you walk out, but at the front it's at a
and like the back wouldn't have. So in this particular house that I'm talking about, the first one that I sold, it was 2-story. So on the bottom story, the back side was earth.
Okay.
And then the top, like the second story, didn't have earth around it. It had a regular roof. It was quite big, and it had more windows than some. And it didn't have the natural roof, which is, grass, which is, I've been in, I think, a couple of them, and there's some smell that's associated.
That's become really popular in England, though. Like the
really?
Roof.
Okay. Yes. Well, they did that on the new Theodore Roosevelt Library.
Okay.
It's in Fargo, North Dakota.
Later.
Oh my gosh. It opens July 4th. And I want to go, but I don't know why I would go to.
You want a friend to come with you?
I don't know why I'd go to Fargo, North Dakota.
First, I'm going to watch Fargo, and then we can go.
It's true. It does look so. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, I cannot wait. I think it will be amazing, but it's very strange that this library is out in the middle. I mean, it's not just a library, it's like a museum too, but but it has one too. So you can walk up on the roof.
We have to give the Dakotans something.
Yeah, well, because that's, he lived there, I guess. So, but I haven't seen a lot of new bermed homes built. I think it's just because of like the mold situation, and our dirt is bad.
Yes. It's unique. It has unique properties.
So unique.
It's orange and it's clay.
Yes.
It shrinks a lot and it grows a lot.
It does. And people constantly ask me about basements here.
Yes, we don't like those.
No. Why don't we like them, Sarah?
They're not friendly with the shrinking and the swelling of the clay.
That is right.
No.
I grew up in a house until I was 10. So before my parents built the new house, and it had a basement, and I remember it because I had to go down there a few times for the tornadoes, and it was disgusting.
Do you know, actually my friend, she lived on Lahoma and Norman, so Central Norman, Old Norman, and they had a basement. I don't remember it being scary, so
good.
Maybe they have good dirt there in Central Norman.
Well, there's a lot. All those old ones right there have basements, and I've been in some of them, and some of them are in really good shape, but you really have to keep up with them because they will crumble.
Yeah, that's in fact our basement in England, because we had a basement. They used lime mortar back then, which they would have used here as well, because I don't believe they had the concrete mortar as norm then. And it does, it rots. And the brick starts to rot with the moisture. So you want to keep an eye on that.
You do. You have to keep an eye on it.
Home maintenance is so important. That's another session.
A whole other session.
Whole other session. We could do a whole other hour on that.
We could. I agree. So yeah, but and lately all these like these new manufactured style homes are coming across my feed, which maybe will be more affordable.
I went to a really interesting talk. You bring this up. It was put on by Housing for Communities, and they had there is a factory builder here in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And they factory build the homes. And you can save some money doing, and they've got some really cool plans. You know, they've got duplexes, like triplexes, quadplexes, etc. But what they do is you do your groundworks, your concrete, and your plumbing, you know, in the ground, and then they'll bring the walls to the first floor, and you put those up, and you finish the first floor out. It's got the cabinets and everything, but you got to do sheetrock, paint, etc. The second floor comes fully done.
Really?
Just crane it on top. It's already decorated. The plumbing plugs in. The factory is somewhere in the city, and it is fascinating. I remember the name off the top of my head, but it was a pretty cool talk, and that is something that I think is really interesting for if you're an investor or sitting on some land and you might want to put up a duplex or triplex or quadplex or something like that. It's a really interesting prospect, actually, and you just get in touch with one of us, and I'm sure I'll have the details.
We'll be able to find the details. Yeah. That's really interesting.
It was very cool. I was really entertained by his talk.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sarah. If you guys want to continue watching the show, like as we do more episodes, or as I do more episodes, this is my show, then we will have those, of course, on YouTube, but also podcast. And you can contact me if you'd like. I have that right here in this QR code. And then, of course, you can sign up for my newsletter if you want to do that as well.
It's really good.
Oh, thank you.
I really enjoy Marcy's newsletter.
Oh, that's so nice. Yes, I try to make it short and fun. So, but this was a good talk. And I think we have some more to talk about at another time, for sure.
Thank you for having me. That was almost a sentence.
Good work.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Well, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know.